wish I would have brought a picture. I did not. But I love that painting, Scout. That was beautiful. So I want to talk a little bit about the benefits of having a pet. Benefits of having a pet are really numerous. Studies have shown that the bond between people and their pets can increase fitness, lower stress, and bring happiness in an instant. The health benefits that have been noted include decreased blood pressure, cholesterol levels, triglyceride levels. In other words, pets are pets are heart-healthy additions to our lives. But one of the greatest gifts pets give us is a decrease in feelings of loneliness. In 2018, approximately 20,000 U.S. adults participated in a survey regarding loneliness. Nearly half of the participants reported they felt lonely and isolated. With loneliness comes decreased physical, mental, and cognitive health. Although pets of all kinds help to decrease loneliness and increase joy, I'd like to talk specifically about our wonderful pets that we call dog. For those of you who have heard the poem I wrote when I was a teen, you may remember the theme was loneliness. Fortunately, I had a beloved dog, Sniffles, who seemed to show up at just the right moments. Sniffles had big caramel eyes, and when he looked at me, I often wondered if he was really an angel that had come to me. Have you ever looked in the eyes of a dog? Those eyes, they look so human, and I believe you can always find hope in a dog's eyes. Then while I was in college, I was blessed with a beautiful Sheltie. I named her Heidi Josephine because, dogs deserve to have middle names too. And I honestly don't know if I would have survived my 20s without her. I had her for 14 years. She was there with me through a really rough divorce, a suicide attempt, coming to terms with the trauma I experienced as a child, and the day I knew I would never be a mom, at least not to a human child. Heidi Jo kept me grounded. She made me laugh. She got me outside on days that I wanted to hide from the world, and she never failed to let me know how much she loved me. The day she ascended, I held her in my lap, and I felt her soul lift out of her body. I was sure I felt the hand of God on my shoulder in that moment. Losing a pet can be devastating and difficult to accept for sure. When Heidi Jo died, I struggled with the loss for a number of years before being able to open my heart to another dog. It took a story about a 6-year-old and his perspective of why dogs have a shorter time on earth than humans to get me to crack open my heart again. You may have heard the story about Shane and his dog Belker, but I think sharing a little of the story is worth another listen. When the adults were lamenting over the death of Belker and wondering aloud why dogs have such short lives, Shane quietly explained his view, and this is from a 6-year-old. He said, "People are born so they can learn to live a good life, like loving others, right? Well, dogs already know how to do that, so they don't stay for very long." Wisdom from a 6-year-old, and from any 6-year-old or child, can be exactly what the heart needs to hear. It reminded me that our pets come into our lives to teach us about love, and when they depart, they teach us about loss. A new pet never replaces an old pet. They simply expand our hearts. Since Heidi Jo's departure, I've been blessed with more fur kids, including 2 cats, Sebastian, who was, and Grace, who is clearly royalty. A sweet elderly Yorkie named Verdell, a ball-obsessed Sheltie named Sienna, and a gentle old dog named Tinky. And Tinky had the most darling smile, even though he was missing a lot of teeth. And my most recent, Teddy, a rambunctious little mutt with wild ginger hair reminiscent of rocker Rod Stewart's infamous coif. He's got this thing going on here. In closing, I'd like to share a final poem that was written by somebody anonymous about our friend dog. When God made the earth and sky, the flowers and the trees, she made them all the animals, the fish, the birds, and bees. And when at last he'd finished, not one was quite the same, God said, I'll walk this earth of mine and give each one a name. And so she traveled far and wide, and everywhere she went, a little creature followed her until its strength was spent. When all were named upon the earth and in the sky and sea, one little creature said, Dear Lord, there's not one left for me. Kindly the Father said to him, I've left you to the end. I've turned my own name back to front and called you dog, my friend.